Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use dragon spam here at Townhall 15 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition that we are going to be using today, and honestly it's not as complicated as it looks. You're going to be mainly bringing those dragons, you have a few balloons, you have a couple of dragon riders, so I suppose this could potentially also be a Hydra style of attack. You've got a few lightning spells just to take down one of the air defenses, plenty other spells, and most importantly your queen with that giant arrow. So let's jump in and we'll break this one down. So the first thing you guys are going to be doing is using that queen with her giant arrow. Just like you guys can see here, we're going to be firing that giant arrow all the way through the base, looking to take down air defenses and air sweepers. It's very, very important you try to take down at least 2 air defenses if at all possible. If you're only able to get 1, then try to at least get an air sweeper with them. We're trying to get those sweepers because pushing in towards them can be really troublesome when it comes to your dragons. You'll notice for this first one as well, we're also going to be coming in on hard mode just to show that this strategy is incredibly powerful. Even though we would say it's more of a spam based strategy, there is a little bit of skill involved. As you guys can see right there, once you have used that queen with the giant arrow ability all the way through the base, let her funnel a couple of buildings, then go ahead and use that recall spell down on her. We have already used our lightning spells on another air defense. It does take 3 lightning spells here at Townhall 15 to take down an air defense, so keep that in mind. This leaves us with only 1 air defense left to deal with on the back end of the base. We then are going to be creating just a little bit of a funnel on either side of the base with a couple of dragons, the rest of them with those balloons and those dragon riders going to be pushing all the way through into the core. Now you can quite easily switch up from the stone slammer to the battle blimp. It is totally personal preference. For me, bringing that extra damage from the stone slammer makes a massive difference. And if you guys missed it right there, we went ahead and we used that minion prince's ability through in the core of the base, freezing up all of those buildings. Really important when you're going to use that ability, you try to see what direction he's facing. You want it to go on the defenses in the core of the base. You don't want it to shoot off to one side and not get the value. Use any of your remaining spells to try and protect up your troops. You saw we were using a freeze spell down on the single target inferno at the bottom, and now we're going to bring that royal champion through on the back end of this one. She's going to be coming on through with the haste vial, as I believe, as well as the Hog Rider puppet, looking just to get as much value from her as possible while also keeping the majority of our troops through in the core. Now this one is a little bit closer than we were potentially looking for, and that is of course because we had the attack coming in on hard mode, but we're still going to be able to pull in that 3-star. We've got the dragon rider, a rocket balloon. We'll talk about those rocket balloons in the next attack, but you guys can see we're going to be able to finish this one off with a 3-star. It's a very simple strategy. The only complicated thing you're really going to be doing is bringing in that queen with her giant arrow at the start. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the next attack. So moving through onto the next one, we're again bringing in that queen. Unfortunately though, on this one we didn't quite get the value we were looking for. We were looking to take down this air defense as well as the sweeper if at all possible, but unfortunately the queen doesn't quite play ball. She does miss a couple of those buildings. There was a sweeper there as well, though for us here both the sweepers are pointing up towards that top section of the base. So we do end up going ahead and using those 3 lightning spells on that air defense we tried to get with our queen, because luckily for us she's actually going to go ahead and walk up to this other air defense, so we do end up getting a good few of those air defenses with that queen. So things didn't quite go as badly as they potentially could have. We've still managed to secure 3 of those air defenses and there's only 1 remaining. Bringing in those dragons now, they're going to be pushing straight in towards that town hall. Poison spell of course going to be coming down for those clan castle troops. We don't want to let them get too much damage. We want to try and deal with them as soon as possible. Grand Warden ability is one of those things you don't need to use it when you're going into the town hall. You want to use it when you're going into the highest DPS section of the base, so the part of the base where your troops are going to be taking the most amount of damage. You've got that queen coming on through again. She's just coming back down after being recalled earlier in the attack. She's coming down just to secure that funnel up and around that top section of the base, while an ice golem comes out in front to help tank for the royal champion as she makes her appearance from that top section as well. well. And looking here, we of course have a couple of rocket balloons coming in. Those are typically to help funnel your Royal Champion or even your Dragon Riders into specific defenses. So for us here, we don't want our Royal Champion going off towards the archer towers, the cannons, etc. on the outside of the base. We want her to go through to that monolith that was at that top section. Unfortunately, we find a Tesla farm, so things still don't quite go to plan, but we are still able to push through on the back end. Now, if you don't quite have all the pieces of equipment you're looking for in this particular video, you guys can go ahead and bring whatever pieces of equipment you think will work best with this particular attack. I never ever recommend one thing over another. If you guys find something that works better, you are more than welcome to use that. And for the third and final example, we have this kind of diamond style base with that centralized town hall. Sometimes these can be pretty troublesome, but it's not going to be a problem for us here. You'll see we shoot that giant arrow all the way through the center of the base, taking down 2 of those sweepers. Now in this particular one, you'll notice we don't actually take down any air defenses with our queen. There's still 4 left up on the base, and that is because in this particular attack, we're much better dealing with both of those sweepers than we would have been taking down a couple of air defenses. Just watch, this attack is incredibly strong. We're going to let our queen do her thing. She's about to come under some heavy fire, so we're just going to go ahead, recall her. She's done enough funneling down on that right hand side of the base. Baby Dragon now going to come in just to take down 1 or 2 buildings, starting to help create that funnel. Dragons, balloons, Dragon Rider, Stone Slammer, Minion Prince and Grand Warden now all going to be deployed down together. Don't forget about those rocket loons, we're going to hold them just to help our Royal Champion on the back end, of course with that Ice Golem as well. Stone Slammer is going to be the choice of siege machine for all 3 of these attacks. As I said at the start, it adds that extra bit of DPS, and of course when it pops you're going to have all those clan castle troops coming out, which is always going to be of benefit. Just be careful with that tornado trap. We're seeing it causing a few issues right there because we have already of course used that Grand Warden ability, so we don't have too much protection pushing through the back end. We're going to end up actually freezing up the town hall whilst making our troops invisible. Beautiful use of the Minion Prince ability there, freezing up all of those back end defenses, making sure that town hall goes down. That's the one and only thing about not bringing a blimp. Because we opt to bring the Stone Slammer in this one, if we weren't able to secure that town hall there with that Dragon Rider, we potentially could have seen a 99% 1-star. But we were able to grab it. But just remember, if you're going really far opposite town hall side, so the town hall was quite close to the top section here, we came all the way from the bottom, you may want to change up to a blimp, just because your clan castle troops, if you can get them onto the town hall, of course you're going to get much more value and you're pretty much always going to secure it. Whereas if you bring that Stone Slammer, there's a lot less chance it will make its way to the town hall. So keep that in the back of your mind. Regardless of that, this strategy is incredibly powerful, and I'm super excited that later on in this month we also have a dragbat version of this army. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.